Alright, so now we're going to start like we've done before using Solidworks. We're going to go to File, New, and we're going to use the part file. We're going to open it up. The first thing you should always remember to check is your what? Is your units. So in this case here, our units are in millimeters. So we're going to go type in millimeters. So now we're going to go, before we even start drawing, we're going to start doing our equations. How do we get to our equations? We're going to right click over here, go to Hidden Tree Items, and go to Equations, and go Manage Equations. And now we're going to add the three variables. We have A, which is equal to 6. We have B, which is equal to 46 degrees. So for 45 degrees, sorry, you're going to type in 45, go to Units, and scroll down to Degrees. If you want to fix the 6 to make it say 6 millimeters, you can as well. 6, go to Units, and type in millimeters. You have that as well. And finally, you have C, which is going to be equal to A times 2 plus 10, which gives us 22. Alright, so it would be 6 times 2 is 12, plus 10, 22. We're going to press OK, and now that we have equations, you'll notice in this department right over here, we have the equation tab opening up. So let's go start by making our sketch. Again, to model this drawing, guys, you could do it in many ways. I'm just going to show you this way. Create a sketch, and we're going to draw it in the front plane. We're going to go do the profile. So we're going to draw from here. We're going to go to the right, sorry. Then we're going to go up. We don't care right now about the units. We're going to go back with dimensions. Try not to waste too much time trying to get to dimensions right away, because we're going to use the smart dimensions for that part. This should be 65 units. This one here should be 40 units. This one here is going to be 35. And this one here we're not going to change because we don't need it right now. But all we need to do is make sure we have the angle from here to here to be 135. And also we have to just make sure that this point here and this point here are vertical to each other. And like that, we have our profile we're going to do. So in the past, you could have offset this for the thickness of 5. We could have just did this, offset. We're going to grab chain. There we go. We could have grabbed this, closed it off, extruded. But we're not going to do that right now. We're going to go use just a simple extrude feature. And you notice it's going to do the same thing. It's going to use the thin option. But you got to make sure that while you're looking at it, guys, that our total should have been 65. So which means it's going in the wrong direction. So we're going to flip it so it goes inward. Now you notice it says 65, 40, 35. Everything's perfect. And if I wanted to, it doesn't make it much of a difference. I could have put in the middle. I could go mid-plane. So it's doing equally on both sides. And for our case, it should be a total of 65. Okay, middle plane doesn't make a difference. And press OK. So we're going to go back now and modify, because we didn't change the thickness of our actual piece. It's at 10. It should actually be 5. But again, it's very simple to go back and modify, right click, edit feature, 10, 5, both directions, one direction. But again, in this case here, we're going to go in one direction, because if we did both directions, we're going to go past our point we did before. So we're going to go in one direction. Press OK. I still have 65. So now that that's done, we could go and save this piece if you want. But that's the first step I wanted to include. Now that you've saved the file, the next piece where I'm going to work on is I'm going to add the top part over here. So we're going to go to, actually I'll do the bottom one. We're going to do a sketch, and we're going to grab the bottom face, like so. And we're going to, did I make a sketch? No, I did not. Sketch on this face here. And I'm going to make it to normal, so it's going to drive it to the bottom. Now I'm going to draw one of the arcs at the bottom. So we're going to draw a line here. And we notice that it starts at exactly at the bottom. So we can start from this point here. We could go up how many units, guys? We're going to go up. For now, again, we don't need to type in the units. We can just do this. Then if I want to draw an arc, I press A, and I have an arc going. And then I go back to a line over here. So as you see here, we did the actual piece. I drew a line. I pressed A on the keyboard, which activated the arc command. And then I connected the line. Now I could just do my dimension. This should, we said 5. And these two should be equal to each other. So I'm going to do add a relation. I just want to make sure this is still recording. Yes, it is. We're going to go add a relation between this piece here and this piece here, and we're going to make them equal to each other. So this way, they're equal lengths. The next step we're going to do is add our dimension over here, which should be what? It should be 6, sorry. 6 radius. And there's our first piece, and it's fully constrained. Then I could go back and press Finish Sketch. Or I could go right away and do Extrude. Okay. Maybe I won't press Extrude right away, and I'll close off that line. See, it's giving me a sign. Let's go back. I don't know what I just did that for. Edit. Let's delete this feature that I just did. Delete. And let's close off the line. Edit Sketch. So now we're going to close it off just so it's a solid. From here to here, we're going to close it. And like that, we have our solid. We're going to extrude. Now, I know we could put a distance of 5 and flip it, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go use the option up to next. Oh, I'm going to flip direction first. Flip the direction. And we're going to go to up to surface, up to body. No, we're going to go which one, guys? Up to surface. And I'm going to click this surface here. Because if ever I change the thickness, it's going to upgrade with that piece. I accept, and I make sure I press Merge Results. And now I have the bottom piece set. Good? After that one's done, I'm going to add the same piece, but I'm going to add it to the top part. So we're going to go over this part, sorry. So we're going to go do a sketch on this face over here. Let's go now to normal. And we're going to draw the same thing, but with the dimensions that are given. We're going to draw a line. And we're going to go anywhere for now, and I'll place the dimension afterwards. We're going to go from here. Same distance should be 5, correct? 5. Or just don't worry about it. Press A for arc. Connect it, and then connect the line and bring it back down. So now we have our same piece that we did at the top. But we're going to go do some dimensions. This should be 5, correct? And this should be, and the equation now, this one should be equal to A. Accept it. And I didn't make these equal. So maybe I should undo that one for now to make my life easier. And click this guy and this line and make them horizontal and make them equal to each other. Now if I were to go change this dimension like we just did before, equals to A, equals to, okay, equals to A. You'll notice now that the pieces are perfectly constrained. There's just one more step to do, is that we have a distance now that's saying that from the bottom, not the top, from the bottom to this point should be a distance of 10. So we're going to do that distance right over here, and we're going to make sure it's 10. Which one is constraining it? I should be able to do from here to here. If it doesn't work right away, what can we do? Just remove a relation and re-add it, then add that relation. Oh, there's one of them making the constraint. So to make my life easier, I'm just going to get rid of this line and this line, sure, and re-add a line again, like so. And now I'm going to do that dimension from here to here. Should be 10. There we go. And now it pushed it over. And now we're going to do like we did before. This line here is equal to this line. Okay, it took the bigger line. It's okay. And we're going to put this to distance of 5. And our piece is back to... This doesn't look correct. Is it right? No, something went wrong here. Is our thickness? How thick is this should be? This should be... This is wrong. Wait, hold on. Something went wrong. Let's just do this line first. How about this? We're going to redo this one. If it screws up, it's not the end of the world. We can just do this one line, and we'll draw it from there. Let's go put it back to normal. So it's straight. And let's just draw the line from 10. We're going to go here, click, arc, like so. Connect a line, connect a line. There we go. Let's go add our dimensions first. Let's go make these sure that these guys are equal to each other. And let's also make sure that they're both horizontal. And now let's go add our dimension, which is... Let's go add our dimension. Why is it now fighting me? It's because of this tangent guy. Delete. How about now? There we go. The tangent was bugging it. Is equal to A. Let's add another relation before we do that thing. From here to here, vertical. I have something that's over constraining it. Hold on, let's just change this. Alright, so after some little glitch, this is how it should be. So we just kept snapping to this piece over here, but after deleting it, it finally worked. So once that's done, all we're going to do now is do the same thing we did before. We're going to use the extrude option, flip the direction, and we're going to make sure that we go up to surface and grab the guy underneath. Accept it, and like that we have both pieces correct. Do we need to worry so much about this side here right now? No. We're going to do everything we need to do on this side, and then we're going to mirror it to the other side. The key things to remember is that all these pieces that we're extruding right now should all of them have the merge results. And make sure they all have merge results when you're doing these pieces. Later on, you'll see we'll switch those off. Now that this piece is done, the next piece we're going to do is we're going to make a hole through this guy here, going through the next piece. So we're going to. So now that we've completed this piece here, the next thing we're going to do is make a hole in this profile and go down to the next one. So we're going to go do a sketch again on this face here. We're going to go to normal again. And we're going to add a circle. Like so. And we're going to make sure that this circle here has a relation between this arc here, and we're going to make it concentric. We're going to add a dimension between here and here, and what is the distance going to be? Why are we getting argues with this every 5 seconds? Everything's locked. Okay, so what's the distance supposed to be? So it's going to be equals A divided by 2. And that's going to be our, doesn't look right. Is that small? I think this is, something's wrong with this guy then. It's not, it's a distance, that's what I figured. So it's not this one, we don't want the diameter here. We want to make sure we have the distance from here to here. There we go, this is what I want. And now we're going to do is equal to A divided by 2, which is giving us this, makes more sense. So we need to put a relation between these two pieces, which is going to give us a gap here that's going to change the distance of that circle. The reason we did concentric, so it's always in the middle. If I change the number, it's always going to stay in the middle. Once that is complete, we're going to use the option called Extrude Cut. We have that profile. We're going from the top, and we're going to not just put a number. We're going to go use the direction that's called offset from surface. And if you look inside the page, we see that there's an offset that goes into this piece over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the bottom face, and we're going to give it a distance of 3. So if you look carefully, it's going through 3 units. If I did it from the top, you would do offset 2 going downward. Depending on which direction you're going, you would go into that piece. So now we're cutting into the actual profile. We're going to press OK. And now you notice we have the cut going through our piece. All right? So that's so far what we have done. So we've done this. We've done the first things we did, let's go do a recap, is we did the equation. Then we did this profile over here. Then we added the extrude boss at the bottom, extrude boss at the top, and then we added the extrude cut. Okay? Before we mirror the pieces over, we're going to go do another piece. We're going to go do the wedge now. We're going to change it up. We're going to make a wedge. Make a sketch on this face over here, because we're focusing always on the left side. Oops, I said sketch. Apparently not. Sketch. Here we go. Go to normal. And now we're going to be drawing from this profile here. Draw a line from here to here. And we're going to go make sure we have the dimensions that is needed. So we see that from the start that from here to here should be distance B. So we're going to go do equals B, which is going to be 45. The next thing we notice that the height, it gives us the height. From this point here to this point here, we go 20. And like that, our piece is fully defined. So now, using the rib feature, we're going to go back to accept it, feature, and use the rib option. While using the rib option, it's important to remember two things. The direction it's going in. If the direction was up, oops, if the direction was, flip material, was going like this, it would go up. We don't need that. We need it to go down. So we're going to flip the material so the arrow is pointing down. Another thing to notice is that it's going on both directions. So we're going to go only in one direction, not this one. We're going to flip it to the second side, and we're going to give it a distance of 5. Press OK, and like that, our rib is complete. So now we have the piece. Now we're going to mirror it to the other. So now we added the rib. So all that's left to do now is to mirror these 1, 2, 3 components to the other side. So we're going to go now do mirror. We're going to open it up. Our plane, we're going to use the one that's in the middle. If we don't have a plane that's in the middle, we could also make a plane from one of the parts that we made earlier. I could have opened Extrude. Whatever you're doing, you can use someone else's plane, make a new plane. But in my case here, it's perfectly in the front. For features to mirror, we're going to go grab the rib. It showed you in the preview. Take Extrude 1, Extrude 2, which is a little bit slow, and the cut as well. And if you notice, we're taking all these parts at the same time. We accept it. And now we have our piece complete. All we have left to do is add the other different bodies into our piece. Good. So let's go on to the next part. So now that we have completed this, we could save it. But now we're going to go make a piece. We're going to make one of the rods on this side over here first. So we're going to make another sketch on this face here. Okay. Go to normal. And we're going to make a circle. I could also just use convert entities. I'll do that instead, actually. Instead of making a circle, convert entities, and we're going to click on the circle that we just have here and press OK. And we're on the top of that face. We're going to now to do the extrude, switch the directions, and we're going to go use the option up to body, which is going to go down to here. Not to body, up to surface, sorry. Up to surface. Okay, I'll click this way. Okay, we did up to surface. But the key thing to remember when we're doing this to make it a body is make sure we uncheck merge results. Press OK. And now by doing that, you notice that we have a new piece here called body, the extrude cut. This is going to be the piece that we just built over here. It's independently from it. All right, so now they're all different from each other. Now that that piece is done, I could go do the same thing I did prior and do the mirror option. Just to show you what happens if I didn't do the extrude join, is I do feature. So now look what happens if I leave merge results, right? And I press OK. What's going to happen? A, the hole's gone. B, it's all one piece. And if I go look here, it doesn't tell me anymore that I have different bodies. So I would go back here, edit feature, and go make sure to uncheck merge results. Accept it. And then again, now I have back my solid bodies. I could also just rename this piece if I wanted to, or rename it up here, F2, and call it rod 1. I could go press this one, rename body, by just pressing F2. Okay. Okay, now we have the first rod, and now similar to the other one, I could just use my mirror, but it's important to do this. Watch, look what happens if I don't pay attention now. If I go do the mid plane, the front, sorry, and I go do like we did before, features to mirror, and I grab the one that I just made, this one here. I accept it. I go look. A, it's saying it's not going to work because one of them is merged, one is not. So what I need to do is I need to get rid of this guy here and open bodies to mirror because now it's a body. Select the body again, rod 1, press OK, and now they are independent from each other. Same thing again. I could go press F2 on mirror number 5 and call it rod 2. And now I have the body, the rod 1, rod 2. So now I have 3 pieces. We're going to go add another piece now. We're going to go add the hole in the middle now. So we're going to do the same concept. We're going to make a sketch on the top face. We're going to go to normal. And we're going to draw the circle. Draw a circle and put it. Now, if we want to make it in the center, we could do like we've done before. Click a line. There's many different ways, but we're going to do this. Construction. You're going to draw a line from here across, which is going to give us that midpoint over here. If you want to feel more confident in the circle you're choosing, do another line. Construction from here to here. And now you have for sure you know where the center is. You're going to grab the origin of the circle, press Control, and grab add relation from this point here, which is not working right now. Let's get rid of this guy first. Let's see if it lets me grab it. This guy. This guy here first. Get rid of the line here. And this point here. And we're going to make it so it's coincident. And now it's in the middle. We're going to do a smart dimension. And we'll notice that the dimension of this should be what? Equal to C. So we're going to go equals global C. Accept. And now we have our lovely piece on top. What we're going to do next, same concept. We're going to do feature, extrude cut. We're going to cut that hole out first. Okay? And we're going to go all the way down to our piece. We're going to go to up to surface. No, offset from surface, sorry. And we do the same thing again. We're going to grab the bottom. And we're going to make it so it's the same 3 millimeter going below it. Accept it. And now we have a lovely piece going through it. Now we're going to add this screw to this piece. We're going to go now do a sketch again to the top face. So we made the hole now. The next step we're going to do is we're going to make a cylinder cut through it. So we're going to go do the same concept again, go to normal. And we're going to take this circle again, convert, but we're not going to do convert this time. We're going to do offset entities. Why? Because if you look in the picture, you will notice there's a 0.50 difference going inward. So it's not connected. So offset. We're going to grab this piece over here, and we're going to go 0.50, but we're going to go inward. So reverse it so it goes like so. We're going to accept this piece, and now we have our extrusion of where we're going to go. We're going to go now do feature extrude. And we're going to go the same way again, not down. We're going to go to flip the direction. And I think now if I do up to next, it's going to work. Press accept. And now we have our piece. Just make sure that when you are making that piece, I go back. See, I click too fast. I need to make sure I uncheck merge results. By doing that, now it adds another piece over here. So now I added the cylinder in the middle. Now we're going to add the top screw on top. Same concept again. Sketch on this face this time. We're going to go make a new sketch. I clicked this face, but apparently not. Go here, back to normal, and we're going to do another circle that's going to be concentric to this piece, like so. We're going to make sure that we're concentric to here. So we're going to make sure we have this point here. No, this is not concentric at all. Why is it not in the middle? Let's go back. Let's erase the sketch and see if I can steal it. If not, we're going to just do convert entities. We're going to steal this guy, like so. Accept it, so we have the center of it. Then we're going to make let's just take this circle, actually. Then take this exact circle we did before, and we're going to change the diameter. Can I take it? No, we're just going to do, I'm just going to make another circle, not to argue with it. From this point here, take it like so. Okay, I could have did the offset. It would have made more sense, but it's okay. Now, what's this diameter going to be? 31. So we're going to go do a smart dimension. We're going to go put it at 31. Good. And we're going to do now extrude. So when we're extruding right now, we notice, do we need to keep the merge result? Yes, we keep merge result on. However, we need to do something that's going to fix this. So before we even do that, what's our height going to be? It's going to be 5 units. So we have that piece. Now if you notice, we want the screw head and the screw bottom to be linked together. So what do we need to do is we need to make sure we go to feature scope, and we're going to go choose the bodies we want. We want this piece here and this piece here only to be merged. Press OK. And now you notice we have a screw here. So if I go back here, rename it, call it screw. All right? So like that, we have all the pieces created, and we have the 1, 2, 3, 4 body pieces independently from each other. You got to save the piece, and then afterwards, you're done. Thank you so much.